Hello and welcome children to your new class, grade 4. I will be teaching you computers, and this book shown in the screen is the book we will be studying in this year. So let's move to the first chapter. The name of the first lesson is History of Computing. Chapter 1, History of Computing. So let's read the lesson together. Right from the evolutionary history of primates to the modern man today, there has always been a need to count and calculate. Since man has been on this earth, he has always been in need to count and calculate things. How many things he have? For example, in earlier times, they used to store food and keep in their caves or in their huts. So they had to count and keep track of how much food is left so that they can go again and hunt more food or gather more fruits. So there was always a need to count and calculate things. The history of computing goes long back, where the Sumerians used a box of stones as a device for representing numbers. So, the history of computing, that is, counting things and performing simple calculations such as addition, subtraction, all this has been in use from a very long time. The word computing means calculating an answer or sum. So what does computing means? It basically means we are finding an answer or we are adding numbers and getting the answer for that addition. It also means the study and use of computers in today's world. And in present day, computing means to study how computers work and how they are useful for man. So first machine, abacus, 3000 years ago. The abacus is the oldest known device used for computing. So the oldest machine that we have a track of that humans have been using is called abacus. Like this, you can see its picture on the screen. This is how an abacus looks like. And I think many of you must have seen an abacus or even used one for calculating, doing addition, subtraction, multiplication. So this is how an abacus looks like. So it was first used by the Chinese about 3000 years ago. So Chinese, those who live in China, have been using this from 3000 years ago. So abacus is basically, it is a wooden frame with sliding beads on rods. So this is the wooden frame and these are the beads which have been placed on the wooden frame. The beads are arranged on the two sides of the crossbar. The beads are moved to calculate. Like you can see, some beads are over here and some beads are over here. So they are just arranged in such a manner so that we can easily calculate things. We can perform addition, we can perform subtraction and other simple calculations. So the beads are moved to perform the calculation, and this is how an abacus looks like. So the abacus is still used for counting in Japan, Korea and China. An abacus which is 3000 years ago, it is still being used in countries like Japan, Korea and China because it increases a person's problem solving skills. They just don't rely on calculators, they make use of their mind and such simple machines so that they can improve their thinking. So the next machine is Napier's bones in 1614. So Napier's bone is the machine which was invented in 1614. John Napier invented a system of movable rods that could be used to multiply, divide and do other calculations. It had 11 rods with 4 faces each. The device was made from bones and was called Napier's rods or Napier's bone. So John Napier is the person who made the Napier's bone. This is the machine which John Napier built, and it could do what? It could do multiplication, division and do other calculations such as addition, subtraction. So it is called Napier's bones because it was made from actual bones. And also it is called as Napier's rods because the bones were placed in the form of rod shape. And it used to perform simple calculations. Then came the machine Pascaline, which was made by Blaise Pascal. A French mathematician was the first to build a mechanical adding machine called the Pascaline. He built around 50 machines but was only able to sell around a dozen of them. The Pascaline could cope with up to 8 digits. So the machine he built, he called that machine Pascaline, and the name of that person was Blaise Pascal. So on the next page, we will see how computer has evolved. The computer which we presently see at our home or we see in schools or other offices, this is not the one that was originally built. Computer was built and then it was further improved, then it was further improved until today we can see the form of computer which we have seen. Similarly, it is further being improved. So down the line 5 years or 10 years, the computers will look totally different. Like even now we can see the desktop computer looks completely different from a laptop or an tablet or iPad. So these are the photos of Pascaline, then came the difference engine, and then came the analytical engine, which we will study right now. So then after Pascaline came difference engine in 1822. So difference engine was built by Charles Babbage. This name you have to remember because as you can see over here, Charles Babbage is called the father of computers because he was the person who actually made the computer which had all the operations or the main important functions which the computer we have right now which performs. So his first computer in 1822, he gave it the name difference engine. It was a mechanical device that could carry out repeated addition. He gave up the machine to go on to develop the analytical engine. So after making difference engine, he moved on to analytical engine. That is, he went on to improve the difference engine and then made analytical engine. So Charles Babbage began his work, the analytical engine, in 1834 and worked on it until his death. Until he died, he worked on the analytical engine, improving it, making it more useful for humanity. In 1871, the design included the 4 basic components found in every modern computer, that is the components for performing the basic functions. That is why analytical engine is called the first ever computer. Analytical engine is called the first ever computer and Charles Babbage is called the father of computer because the computer he built, it had the basic operations that the computer should perform. That is, it could take input, it could give output, it could process the information and it could store the information. And these 4 are the most important things of a computer. If a computer, it does not take input from the person sitting on the computer, then that computer is of no use. Suppose it takes the input but it does not give us the output. Similarly, it is not useful. Or it takes the input but does not give us the correct output. It performs wrong processing and give us wrong output. Such a machine is also not useful for humans. And similarly, it does not store the information so that we can resume or start our work afterwards after some time. So these 4 parts are the most important parts of a computer or 4 important operations of a computer which Charles Babbage built in analytical engine. The analytical machine could do an addition in 3 seconds and a multiplication or division in 2 to 4 minutes. It could operate on 40 digit numbers. Now you can say that even I can perform addition, I can perform operation, but what these machines can do is that they can perform operations of big data, large number of data. For example, you can perform addition of 3 digit numbers, right? But if I were to tell you, you have to perform addition of 15 digit numbers or 10 digit number, like this very big number I give you and I tell you you have to add this number. So it will take you lot of time. But computers, they can perform this in a very short amount of time. So that is why they have been built to make our work easy. Computers are generally used to make our work easy so that we can concentrate on important things. Then after analytical engine came tabulating machine. In 1887, Hermann Hollerith developed a tabulating machine that could count quickly. He used punch cards for storing data, which was an idea of Charles Babbage. After that came this machine came, tabulating machine, which was built by this man whose picture you can see on the screen, Hermann Hollerith. He built the tabulating machine which could use punch cards, like we have ATM cards. When we go to the ATM machine, and we put that card inside, and if we have money in our account, we can withdraw the money from the ATM machine. So similarly, he used punch cards to give information to the computers and print information on it. And this was the idea of Charles Babbage. Now we will move on to the next page. After tabulating machine came ENIAC in 1946. So the full form of ENIAC is Electronic Numerical Integrator and Calculator, was completed in 1945, and it was developed by two friends, W. Mauchly and G. Presper Eckert. These two people, or these two individuals, they built the ENIAC in 1946. The first multipurpose digital computer, ENIAC, set speed records with an amazing 5,000 additions per second. Like in a fraction of a second, it could perform large number of operations and total 5,000 additions in just 1 second. Just like we count 1, it has performed 5,000 additions. So it took ENIAC about 20 seconds to solve problems that had taken 1 or 2 days to complete manually. And nowadays the laptop we have, they can do 500,000 additions per second. So what is basically happening is that the computers, they are being evolved, they are being improved day by day. Every day something new is being added to the computer so that it becomes more beneficial for the world. It helps man in doing things quickly and in a correct manner with less number of errors. So the ENIAC was a successor to the first general purpose electronic computer, the ENIAC. So after ENIAC came the UNIVAC, and similarly the computers are day by day being improved and improved. So this was also designed by those two friends, John Mauchly and John Presper Eckert. The first commercially available electronic computer, UNIVAC 1, was also the first computer to handle both numeric and textual information. So what we have studied in this lesson is the history of computers, like how the first computer looked like and how it has been evolved year by year or century by century until now. We can see the present day computer in front of our eyes, at our home, in schools, in offices, and still these computers are day by day being improved. Like for example, the first computer that was built, it used to occupy space of a whole room. Its size was as big as one room in which you or I are sitting. But nowadays a computer has reduced to just a laptop. We can just keep it on a lap. That is why it is called laptop, that a person can keep the computer on his lap and just do his work on it. And similarly, its efficiency has increased, its speed has increased, its power has increased. So day by day everything is being developed and enhanced. So we have studied in this lesson the history of computing. You don't have to remember what each machine used to do, but just you have to understand the concept that things are being developed, and the computer which we have right now is not the one that was originally built. It has evolved slowly and slowly. So for homework, you have to write this summary one time in your notebook. Okay? And you have to remember the name of the person who is called father of computer, that is Charles Babbage, and the first computer that he built, that is the analytical engine. So these are the exercises. Try to read the lesson and answer exercise question 1, question 2 and question 3. Then we will look for answers for question 4 in the next class. So you have two homework. First is you have to write the summary in your notebook, and then you have to find answers for question number 1, 2 and 3, and you have to write this also in the notebook as you have not got your textbook till now. So inshallah we will continue with the lesson, or we will end the exercises in the next class. Thank you.